Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is Salim Nakashi. So for my seventh video for Jurassic World Evolution 2, I wanted to try something different. Like I'm gonna record at the same time do some commentating because for me it's the best way to describe this part that I've built. But you'll have to forgive me because English isn't really my first language. So I might stutter or I might mispronounce some things. So yeah, and then this for this video, this is actually, as the title suggests, a recreation of the 1990 novel by Michael Crichton, Jurassic Park. So this is like the novel Jurassic Park. I really love the books. I love the movies, especially the original trilogy. But there's something special about the novel, especially the first one, because it's the one that started it all. When I read it, like I was really blown away. So for this park design, like I'll put in the comment section the link for the park layout that I took inspiration from, as well as the wiki page where the island was described, like about the trees, the foliage, the placement of the buildings. Um, there, like I mixed in some of the elements from the film, like for the visitor center, like how the park tour goes in the front of it. But most of it is just a recreation of the novel park. So okay, this is Isla Nublar, but 2015, like that Jurassic World Chaos Theory map. So this is the map that I used. It's the only one that's large enough where you can build anything in the middle. Like there's no like weird a cliff or a mountain in the middle. So I made a big lake like to represent the ocean. And then this is Isla Nublar, like that inverted teardrop. I used that dark brush for the rock because the book describes it like a volcanic island. So this is it. Yeah. Then mostly for the vegetation, like the book described, like the north of the island was having a deciduous forest, some pine trees. So they're here, and then there's like a palm tree grove when the guests arrive in the helipad. And then here's like that cycad grove when they enter the park. I just wish like for the brush tool, like the trees would be more clumped together. You know what I mean? There's just this too much space. But anyway, maybe in the future, Frontier might update this or they do it in Jurassic World 3 something. Okay, so what else? But the rest of the island, as the book describes, is just like mostly rainforest, like tropical rainforest. So here are the different bodies of waters, like a river going through here, that large man-made lake, then some small lakes. For this part, for the south, like the book described it as the more volcanic area, like there were fumes coming out of the ground, and I think that geothermal power plant was here or something. Since we don't have that, so I just put some dark rocks. Then I made it as barren as possible for the Stegosaurus enclosure. Okay, so I'll just give a overview, a tour of the park. So this is the guest area as described in that in the book and in the wiki page. So there's a like electrified fence, the perimeter that encloses it. We have here the helipad where the guests arrive. Then that safari lodge. I used the Jurassic World small hotel. There's no tennis courts. But then I just put some small chairs here, like a gazebo, and then here's a swimming pool. Then the safari lodge was armored, like it was surrounded by some electrical fences, so it's here. Then to the east is the east garage, so the ranger station. And since I needed scientists to make the dinosaurs, so I just built one staff center. This is where the staffs are gonna rest, so it like makes sense. Then here is the east dock. So I used that DFW building, the small power station, for a makeshift dock, as well as in the north, it's the north dock. Now, I didn't connect any path because I don't want guests coming here. Like there should be a separate path, like for the staff. Anyway, this is what we got, so we'll just work with it. And then here is the visitor center in the middle, the main hub for Jurassic Park. And then the cars are supposed to come out here, like there's a garage, but I just put the park drive here. Okay. So it'll come in the front, so same like in the movies, to pick up guests. And in the back, this is the maintenance shed, supposedly, but it's just the bunker, same like in the movies. And here is Hammond's bungalow, like for the VIP. This is the small hotel for the Jurassic Park era. And here is like a small ravine, because in the books, like Hammond died here, like he broke his ankle, I think, and fell down. Then the Compsognathus killed him. So yeah, there's a small like hill going down here where he dies. And then in the back, here are the goats, the goat pen. Then there's supposed to be like a bamboo forest, but we don't have that. So I just put here the incubation lab, the hatchery. So it kind of looks like that Velociraptor pen, but bigger in the movie. So yeah, and then here's the science center, again, for the genetic stuff, the fossil storage and everything. Because I like the building, looks cool. And then here we have the Velociraptor holding pen. It's a bit bigger. Okay, so here are the raptors. The number for the dinosaurs that I used for this build are the same one tallied in the book. So in the book mentioned 8 raptors, but there were a total of 37 because most were breeding in the wild. But for this build, I didn't release any wild raptors, so there are only 8 here. And then the book described the raptors as having yellow skin with like brown stripes. So the closest one is the Lost World version and not the 1993. So I went with this. Okay, my pack of raptors. I wish there was an option to engineer like negative traits in the dinosaurs. Like you can make them more aggressive or larger appetites. Would be nice. Okay, so here is the park drive going into the park. I'll just give also like an aerial tour. So here's that cycad grove that I mentioned earlier. Since our tours don't overlap each other, or like they can't use the same track going back and forth, so that's why there are 2 parallel tracks going into the park and going out. So the first enclosure that we have here is the Hypsiliphodont Highlands. So we have here the Othnielia and the Hypsiliphodonts. For the Othnielia, I use the Dryosaurs, and for the Othnielia, I used the Homalocephalae because they were the smallest herbivores bipedal that I could find. And then for the Hypsiliphodont, it's the Dryosaurus. I think they're in the same family or something. So yeah, there are a lot of them here. Too bad they don't climb the trees. Would have been nice. Okay. For the sandbox build, I turned off comfort, dinosaurs getting hungry or needing water. Yeah, because this is like a park build. It's not really for the management type of the game. So anyway, moving on. The next one is Carnivore Country number 1. So here are the Dilophosaurs. So they're hiding somewhere in the jungle. And here's the river where they did that mating thing where the guests saw. Yeah, where are my Dilophosaurs? Yeah, here are the compies. So there's like 67 of them scattered all throughout the island. Yeah, I chose the black variant. Looks kind of cool. Black and white. Same like that Jurassic Park Institute skin. And not the green one, like the one in the Lost World. Let me find my dinos. Okay, here they are. So here's the alpha. Okay. I chose like a dark red skin for the dilo. It has some cool markings in the eyes, like blood red. Yeah, here's a dilo. Okay. So the guys are gonna see them from over the bank. And then here is the 3-star restaurant, Les Gigantes, the giants. So the book described this like an overview, like overlooking like a cliff. So we can't really make cliffs, so I just put some rocks and a sharp edge. So yeah, this is the restaurant where the tour stops. And beside it is Pterosaur Peak. It's not really a peak, like it's not Like again, there's no cliff, and there's supposed to be like a lodge inside, but I just put the aviary viewing gallery. So inside are 6 pterodactyls, and then their skin is the white one. Yeah, bugs are still there where they freeze in place. Because I turned off the feeding and the thirst so they don't die. Okay, so here's the Pterodactylus, the red crest. Same like described in the book. Okay. I wish we could have made like a bigger aviary, like a dome shape, but we could like increase the radius. This one is too small. Anyway, so here are the pterosaurs. Okay, 6 of them. Then after that, the tour goes down here to Triceratops Territory. So here we have the Triceratops, Styracosaurus, and the Euplocephalus. Yeah, these all random skins, which came out very nice. It's like a dark green with some highlights, then like a dark reddish brown with some highlights as well. Then the Styracosaurus are like a muddy brown to distinguish them. It is a large enclosure for them. The only species that I couldn't put in the park is the Microceratops because there's really no dinosaur that resembles it currently in the game. Okay, nice herd. So there's a small river here, then a forest, and here's a large clearing for them where the guests can view them. Okay. Then in the front is the T-Rex Paddock. Carnivore Country number 2. So there's supposed to be 2 Rexes, an adult and a juvenile. So for the adult, it's a default 1993 skin. I made the Rex like nocturnal, so he'll be much more active at night. Sorry. Then for the juvenile, I just placed a Megalosaurus with a dark brown skin. Where is it? Yeah, there's some compies as well. Yeah, here. For the juvenile. I know they're not in the same family as a T-Rex, but it was the closest one. And it was the smallest bipedal dinosaur that looked like a T-Rex. I turned the combat off so they don't kill each other. Oh yeah, there's Apatosaurus. The T-Rex was known for always looking at them. Like with hungry eyes. Okay, so here's my Rex. Then, going farther south is the Stegosaurus South Paddock. So there were only 4 stegos. Okay. This isn't the Lost World skin. This is like a random skin, but it looked okay. It turned out nice. Okay. For most of my dinosaurs, I switched the social genome to like the max level to make them interact with each other more. Okay. So we're gonna destroy this trap, which is good. Okay. So the tour just goes around the Stegosaurus Paddock. And here is like the Sauropod Swamp. So here we can see some Apatosauruses. Yeah, sleeping. Yeah, it's gonna check out the drive. The tour when it comes out. But the majority, like there's supposed to be that jungle river cruise that goes through here. So here are the Hadrosaurs, the Apatosaurs. I used the Maiasaura and the Parasaurolophus because we don't have Hadrosaur yet. And the Parasaurolophus like had a bigger impact and a bigger role in the JP franchise. Like in JP1, this is the Lost World skin. Oh yeah, this is the river that connects to the aviary. Okay. So all in all, this is the largest herbivore paddock with large herds. Yeah. I really like this build. Okay. So after that, the tour just goes back to the T-Rex paddock, where the power in the movie and in the book, the power was shut off and the Rex escapes. So there's like a small, not really cliff, but like a downward hill where the car falls, and it just goes back up here to the aviary. Okay, and the tour stops here, like where the guests come down and they get a view of the pterosaurs. Okay. And then goes back through the Dilophosaurus Enclosure and the Hypsolipodont until it goes out. Okay, so yeah, that's just the park, guys. Nothing special. It's very simple. Nothing fancy, no mods. But hey, so far this is the closest I can say that I've recreated the novel park. So you can check out the image in the comments as well as the placement of the paddocks. And tell me what you think, guys. So if you like the video, don't forget to leave a like, just comment, and subscribe. So thanks, guys. Cheers, then keep safe always. Bye-bye.